Hello, I'm Dilek Tuna. Welcome to another episode of Context. Today on the program, we'll unpack some key developments seen this week. Iraq's oil minister confirmed that exports via Turkey's Ceyhan pipeline will resume in the coming days. Meanwhile, Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan are advancing cooperation on digitalization of ports and logistics. And across the corridor, countries are accelerating investment in transport infrastructure and connectivity. So as the Middle Corridor is gaining momentum, is it on the verge of becoming a viable high-capacity trade route? And if so, what does that mean for the players along the course? To discuss in detail, we're joined by Janat Mominkulov. He's a senior lecturer at the Eurasian National University from Astana, Kazakhstan. Janat, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, how would you describe the current pace of development along the Middle Corridor?
Thank you for the question. I think the Middle Corridor is now becoming a very serious issue of international relations. The Middle Corridor is developing at a moderate but accelerating pace, I think, and geopolitical shifts, including Russia-Ukraine war, have boosted this international interest from all the stakeholders, and freight volumes have surged since 2022, and but however, infrastructure bottlenecks and transportation delays still limit the full potential.
Okay. So, as you said, certainly a gradual momentum there, but what are the biggest geopolitical or logistical challenges the corridor still faces?
So I think the key challenges are geopolitical, the fragile regional dynamic. I mean, the Armenia-Azerbaijan issue didn't resolve it yet. Still, we hope that it will be solved soon. And the balancing issue is also very important between the West and Russia. And the second one is logistical. So the fragmented customs, limited port capacity, and rail gauge mismatches, and lack of digital coordination. So we need to focus on these issues.
Okay, so we'll certainly come back to digitalization because it's on the table as we speak. But for the moment, is Kazakhstan positioning itself as a central hub in the corridor? And if so, how so?
Yes, we as a state of Kazakhstan focus on the becoming central hub in the Middle Corridor through the Caspian Sea. Yes, we see Kazakhstan as a central player. It links China to the Caspian and is investing in railways, ports, logistics, Aktau, Kuruk ports, and the customs efficiency. We are working together with Azerbaijan, and we have big plans to work with Turkey. Recently, we have negotiations with Turkey, and we have very potential great plans. So Kazakhstan positioning itself as a both transit and energy hub.
Now, Janat, I know you're joining us from Kazakhstan, therefore you have a stronger command over the viewpoint from Kazakhstan. But as an academic, perhaps you could also share your insight and analysis from Azerbaijan's perspective. How critical is this route to Azerbaijan's long-term economic strategy?
It's very vital for Azerbaijan's strategies because Azerbaijan also wants to be a transit hub, logistics center. So Azerbaijan really has very big potential to be at the center of the Turkic project. So the corridor is crucial for Azerbaijan's non-oil strategy as well. Baku is investing heavily in the ports and logistics, aiming to be a key east-west corridor connector, while deepening ties with Central Asia as well and the Middle East recently.
And to what extent is the Middle Corridor seen as a response to instability or blockages in the Northern Corridor via Russia?
Yes, the Middle Corridor is a direct response to the instability along the Northern Corridor via Russia. It's a very big chance for the Turkic states to develop it as a really working and widening corridor. So it offers a sanctions-free, politically safer alternative now backed increasingly by China and EU and maybe United States in the near future as a redundant trade route.
Okay. Janat, let's turn to energy now. So certainly a major driver of regional cooperation. Iraq's oil minister says exports via the Ceyhan pipeline will resume soon, as recently as today or tomorrow at the latest, actually, after a 2-year hiatus. How significant is this for regional energy dynamics?
So I think the resumption of the Iraqi oil exports via Turkish Ceyhan pipeline after a 2 years hiatus or halt is strategically important because it reopens a key Mediterranean oil outlet, and it will help boost regional energy flow and stability and enhance Turkish role and ambitions to become a regional energy hub, which is Ankara's dream, and reinforce Turkey's central role in east-west energy and trade corridors, complementing the Middle Eastern logistic aspirations, and add to this the change in the South Caucasus and developing links to Central Asia.
Okay, and does the resumption mark a new phase in Turkey-Iraq energy relations?
I think so. So this is a signal for a reset in the interrelations. So it follows years of legal and political disputes over the unauthorized Kurdish oil exports, and the agreement, I think, appears to emphasize state-to-state dealings and improving transparency and reducing tensions. If sustained, it could expand into gas cooperation or new joint infrastructure projects, I think.
Okay, and could this move revive interest in broader pipeline diplomacy, including possible extensions to or through Central Asia?
Yes, potentially, absolutely. I believe in that. A stable Turkey-Iraq framework or relationship might reignite interest in long-stalled projects like Iraq-Turkey gas pipelines or Caspian connectors. So add to this the Turkmen gas exports to Turkey via Caspian and other projects with Central Asia.
Okay, and Janat, what impact might this have on energy flows through the Middle Corridor more broadly?
So I think that the Ceyhan pipeline lies slightly south of the Middle Corridor's main axis. Its reopening complements the corridor's strategic logic, creating multi-modal, multi-resource routes through Turkey, and strengthens regional energy transit interconnectivity, making the corridor more than just a trade route. It's becoming an energy corridor too.
Okay. All right. Now, finally, Janat, you mentioned this early in the piece. It's one of the major points that I wanted to hone in on during this program. It's not just physical infrastructure getting an upgrade here. Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan are exploring digitalization across ports and logistics corridors. So what might this digital transformation mean for regional trade leadership, and what does it actually involve? What is this digitalization?
It's very crucial for Baku and Astana to develop digital corridor. It involves smart ports, AI-powered logistics in the future, or blockchain-based customs and shared freight visibility platforms. And I think it facilitates all the transportation processes, and it's a bid for trade leadership via efficiency, not just geography. So it will help us to reduce border delays, minimize human error or corruption, and create effectiveness across borders.
And again, is this an effort to compete with more developed logistics routes in China or Europe?
Maybe indirectly, yes. The middle corridor can't match China's scale or US tech, but it's carving out a competitive edge in flexibility, neutrality, and modernization, so it has very big potential. So now China, Europe, and even the United States are interested in the development of these projects. It depends on the geopolitical issues in Eurasia. So digital tools can level the playing field for landlocked Central Asian states competing in global supply chains. So it will help us to be integrated more in the international economy.
Okay, now do we know of any other examples in terms of digitalization of these trade routes that are currently out there that Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan are taking inspiration from?
Yeah, absolutely. This in a corridor where physical infrastructure remains patchy, digital innovation could become a key differentiator, I think. So it offers smart corridor status and attract private sector logistics players seeking reliability or speed. And
in the instance that this comes to fruition, could the digital transformation be the differentiating factor that makes the middle corridor a preferred trade route?
Yes, yes, indeed. It will help us to be a center in this whole international area. So I think Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, they are working together slowly, but in a right direction. Mm-hmm. So with the help of the bigger players like Turkey, European Union, and China, Central Asian states, we are moving towards becoming this transit hub as a Turkic region.
Mm-hmm. And are there concerns about cybersecurity or data sovereignty with cross-border logistics digitalization?
Yes, these concerned threats are growing. So the cross-border digital systems raise questions about data control, surveillance, and system compatibility. So countries may be reluctant to share sensitive trade or customs data. It's a very sensitive issue because every Turkic state, Caspian state has its own data systems, information systems. So there's questions that should be discussed and agreed upon. So solutions likely include joint cybersecurity protocols, regional data governance frameworks, or sovereign cloud systems, I think.
Okay, and Janat, finally, in practical terms, when might we see the benefits of this digitalization process on the ground? So with, let's say, less congestion, faster customs, etc.
So I think early improvements are already visible. Faster customs in Baku port, digital port pass systems, but full-scale impact, including cargo tracking or end-to-end integration, likely to be in the next 3 or 4 years until the 2027 or 8, if the current momentum holds. So success, I think, depends on the continued political coordination between Baku, Tashkent, Astana, Ankara, and other partners, so in the private sector uptake and infrastructure matching digital systems. So I think it's very complicated, but I think that our states, they are moving on the right path.
Okay. Janat, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate your contribution and time.
Thank you so much.
From infrastructure to energy and digitalization to diplomacy, the Middle Corridor is fast evolving, not just as a transport route, but as a test of regional ambition. And the question now is whether political will and coordinated investment can carry this vision from a plan to reality. That's all for this edition of Context. Until next time, thank you for watching.